Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and today I actually want to put together a short video for you about the future of Dodge and why we see the Hornet out there and we no longer see the four-door Charger. Yes, we have the Banshee coming down the pipe. We've got the Charger Daytona. We know that those are two-door EVs and they're basically abandoning the sedan segment. Why did Dodge choose to do that? What's really happening behind the scenes? Well, today I will tell you guys really the reason why Dodge decided that the four-door segment, this sedan, this beautiful Charger we've had out really for quite some time, why they're going away from it. We know the Chrysler 300 is going away soon as well. Kind of a weird transitional time for Dodge, but today I will tell you all about it. If you're brand new to my channel, please do me a big gigantic favor. Hit the subscribe button down over here in the corner. I would really appreciate it, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
So if you are a big fan of the Charger, you realize that Dodge has been producing their sedans for quite some time. And how cool is it that you get 4 different power plants in the Dodge Charger, anything from a V6 all the way up to the mighty Hellcat. And we know you got a couple power levels on the Hellcat as well. And then of course we know that in 2024 we're going to the EV, as I mentioned before, and this thing is basically going away. You've also got the Chrysler 300 sedan, which you can see right back over here. That's another one, a staple of the Mopar lineup, and all of these are poised to completely go away in lieu of small SUVs or crossovers, if you will. Many of you have seen all the news coming down on the Dodge Hornet. Well, the Hornet is basically the direct replacement for this version, the 4-door Charger. And everybody says, well, that's a really weird thing to do, is go from a sedan over to a small SUV or a crossover, if you will. But that is exactly what Dodge is doing, and I will tell you why. Now, to the untrained eye, someone would say, look, the Hornet isn't even close to the Charger sedan, right? But I did a little bit of research to kind of prove the point that this is exactly what Dodge was doing when they knew this car was going to go away. They needed something, that 5-passenger segment that gets about the same amount of power, same price, all that kind of stuff, that they could sell a zillion of. And the proof is really in the numbers, which I'll talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is just price, right? You've got the SXT and you've got the GT. Now, the 2023 Hornets are on Dodge's website, and you can actually see just how much they cost. But just for reference, the Hornet GT comes in at $30,590, and the GT Plus $35,490. That's the base price on Dodge's website right now. They do not have the RT version up on the website just yet. And then look at the current 2022 model of the Charger that they currently have up on their website. $32,645 for the SXT and $35,345. Prices are almost identical for these two vehicles. Power-wise, they're almost identical. Everything is right there together, except they are in fact switching from a 4-door sedan over to a small crossover. And Tim Kuniskis said it. Basically, he says, look, this is the segment we need to go after. We know it's out there. That's what all the automotive manufacturers are doing, and Dodge is really just following suit with this. Now, you do have some sedans out there that continue to do quite well, but they're not the American sedans. For whatever reason, American sedans are just not selling the way that they should be. And yeah, you've got cars out there like the Camry, the Corolla, you've got the Nissan Altima, things like that. Those are still doing quite well. Even Nissan is doing away with the Maxima. I talked about that in another video. But you're just starting to see fewer and fewer people want to go for sedans for whatever reason. And I mean, you've got the M4 and the M3, and you've got some other kind of luxury type sedans out there. And yes, those continue to do okay as well. But these are all foreign vehicles, guys. So when we're talking about domestics, I mean, this has been happening for quite some time now. If you go look at Chevy's website, this is just proof. The proof is in the pudding here, guys. You've got a bunch of different SUVs, right? You've got the Trailblazer, the Equinox, you've got the Blazer, the Traverse, the Tahoe, the Suburban, and yet the only sedan in their fleet now is the Malibu. And even the Malibu, the sales are not exactly what you would call ideal. So we may actually see that go away at some point. But in the past, you've seen them try different things, right? We had the GTO from 04 to 06. Didn't do that well with it, right? And then even the Chevy SS was another one that came out. Pretty cool sedan, Corvette engine. didn't do well. And it's just been kind of a repeat thing for quite some time now. And one more point of emphasis about the Malibu is the fact that even though it's used by like every rental fleet in the entire world, they still only sold 115,000 units last year in 2022. By comparison, their small SUV, the Equinox, double that at like 220,000 units. And that said, that's only one of all of those different small SUVs or big SUVs that I mentioned that's in their fleet. So you can see the way things are going. And then of course, as you jump over to Ford, you can go right on Ford's website, see what sedans Ford is offering right now, and the number is exactly 0. Ford, they went away from doing sedans a little while back as well. You simply cannot find a sedan in their lineup. Now, maybe you're one of those folks that thinks that Dodge did the wrong thing by going to the Hornet instead of their 4-door Charger, which we all know and love. And I guess it just depends on what side of the fence you're on. But the numbers are right there, guys. You can see it plain as day. Just do a little bit of research. I actually looked at an article from Car and Driver about the top 25 cars that were sold in 2022. And guess what? 14 of them were small SUVs or crossovers. It's right there, guys. I mean, that is what is selling right now. Dodge knows it. They understand it. They have to sell a zillion of these Hornets, and I'm fine with that, in order to continue to make the really cool stuff that performance enthusiasts like you and I really want to get. And I've mentioned it time and time again, guys. I hope they sell a zillion of these Hornets. We know that the base price on the current Charger RT is basically somewhere around like $44,000. So when the Hornet RT actually comes out, that's going to be the hybrid one that makes more power than the Hurricane 4 that's coming in the GT and the GT Plus versions. I would expect to see the price basically identical to what you see in the 2022 and 2023 Chargers. But I mean, it's right there, guys. The only thing that's really glaring when you look at that Car and Driver article is that the 4 of the top 5 vehicles out there are trucks. Well, we know that we've got Ram out there doing their thing, but yeah, I mean, guys, the small SUV market, the crossover market, it is just exploding right now. And sedans, at least when it comes to American sedans, it's just not happening right now, guys. That is the truth of it. Now, one other thing I did want to mention just to kind of prove my point even further, and I did a video on this not too long ago, but Chevy has basically come out and said, look, in 2025, fully expect to see Corvette as its own kind of brand, right? A brand within a brand. And we may see several different trim levels in the Corvette to include a crossover Corvette, and they may actually have Camaro do the exact same thing. You may see the Camaro, the iconic, Chevy stuff coming out in small SUVs or crossovers. So, I mean, this transition we're going through, it is a weird time, as I've told you guys many, many times before, but we got to embrace change. Well, guys, that is about it. What do you think about this transition that we're going through right now? Is Dodge making a huge mistake by going away from their iconic 4-door sedan and going to a crossover SUV like the Hornet? Do you think this is a wise move on their part, kind of doing what everybody else is doing and sort of simply following suit, trying to get those additional sales? Do you think it's going to work? I would love to hear about your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.